Welcome to the show, Lami.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
So I'd like you to get straight to it. I'd like you to tell me about your journey in relation to what you do.
Okay. My name is Dr. Lami Pusetso. I am a spoken word poet. I am a multi-award-winning author of 12 books. I own Poeticblood Publishers. I'm actually the managing director. I also have an online bookstore called Mind and Soul Bookstores. I currently sit as Botswana ambassador for African Writers Roundtable, and I've recently actually been given the title an external coordinator for Explorers of Literature. It's a club that is actually found in Botswana University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Yeah. So that is my titles and what I do.
You do quite a lot of things, eh? Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
we can
supposed
say
to
that.
ask this now, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. How are you able to balance everything like that? There are so many things that you do.
I think I wouldn't say it's really balancing, but I make sure that each and every day, everything that I wanted to do, that particular work, I have to fulfill it. So I usually design what I call a game plan for each day. So each day has its own job and purpose that I actually have to do at the end of the day. So it helps me having to arrange things. The good thing about all of these things, I do have people that I work with, or let me say my employees. And then also, like being an external coordinator, you meet the team every Thursday. So it helps you know that, okay, Monday to Wednesday and Friday, I'll deal with this other thing. And then on this particular day, I deal with this other thing. So I'll say I am managing. It's hard because it's not like everything goes out perfectly. But each and every day, I wake up and make sure that at least I have to cover 70% of what is needed. Yeah.
Beautiful. So I'd like to know. Let us talk about your team, the people that you work with. How are you able to explain the vision to them in such a way that they end up helping you? Like even though let's say for example, I don't know what the entrepreneurship journey sometimes can be hard.
Yeah.
So the entrepreneur sometimes, let's say for example, there's no money that is coming in the company, and then those people that are still holding on. So I want to know how are you able to explain your vision to them?
Yeah. All right. Here's the funny thing about me. I am someone who, when I meet you, and I know that you love taking pictures, I sit down with you and ask you, what else do you do? And then how can we meet each other halfway? Main reason being, as when I was starting the company, when you don't have money, you don't have nothing to pay people with, but you have that vision that you have to find ways in which, if you are going to call people in to start working with you, you have to make sure that at the end of the day, and that on board with everything that is happening at that point. Let's take editors, for example. I met Katleho by the time when he was submitting his first book for publishing. By then I was doing a lot of things alone. And when I inquired more about him, he's someone who is studying the language, more colleging, and I was like, he's editing. Because his book was actually good. He was editing, and he would tell me that I'm like, good, can actually have an extra editor. So I spoke to him and say, Bon, can I have this thing? And it's happening. And I have been the one dealing with everything. So maybe we're now organic to see. It's like, sure, no problem. We started off like that. He'll be editing, doing until now, when the business was actually becoming and having a bit of money. That is when we sat down now for a contract and say, okay, this is how much I want to get paid, jalo. And then the good thing, like a permanent base position for people who work for me. I make it contract-like. Reason being, in entrepreneurship, especially how it's an amodi bouquet, it's not like this month and next month are going to be the same. There's a month in but was a 2 and then the other month you get 80. So imagine if you buy in a permanent base, like a fixed salary. The next month also 18 3,000. It's not fair on you, it's not fair on me. So now when we work in a contract based thing, we say, okay, for the job done, you get paid for this. For this job done, you get paid for this. So that's how I actually have different employees. And even graphic designers, they're not people by that are with us for full-time basis. They actually have something else that they do, but they offer graphic design to us. So under us, I have different service providers that I call in. We sign contract. They become our employees for certain period of time and for certain kind of work, not a full-time based thing. Because at the end of the day, I'm running a small business. I don't want to have to burden myself financially. Can't tell the businesses and any profit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so tell me about this, because I believe already that sometimes the book industry, such as the book industry, is not something that's not so easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we more hassles on the Botswana yana. Most of that people but ansani but
Yeah,
so how are you able to cover up for the costs and working? Yeah, there are every day they have to do with your business. For example, sometimes I was not but what about the time working business? How are you able to cover up things?
I think because I've always been a creative person, and for me, every day I want to find ways. For me, every day I want to find ways in which I can improve. So I have actually been the one funding my business across the time. I use my poetry to find most of the stuff that my business. What I do is okay, because I already know how many people are submitting. Okay, at least I spoke to 3 people. These 3 people are going to be submitting, and then okay, let me maybe scout for another 2 or 3. And then also the other thing that I do is ready special. I'll differentiate. Okay, maybe I'm gonna have to do like a 50% discount. For at least at the end of the month, some money business. One thing about being an entrepreneur, Botswana, is that you have to know that most of the money that fund your business comes from you. So you always have to have a plan. I think the art of bootstrapping, as people call it, to fund your business, is that one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs forget about it. But focus on the funds, but the funds fund a business at that particular point. When there's nothing at all, it's going to be hard for you to know how to manage them. So I started off having to fund it in but over time now I can say monthly business alone can maybe have at least 7 books that are submitted, and so that is able to sustain all the other things that we do at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay, and just to talk about what you just said, like most entrepreneurs now, the excuse, maybe the most especially young entrepreneurs, the excuse that they give, right now I can't start this thing because I cannot funding, I'm still waiting for maybe YGF, I'm waiting for Celia to fund me, then that's when I can start. So I need you to see something, or what's amazing.
I think you are the one who know what your vision is. You are the one who knows and if you keep trying to convince people to invest in it, yet when you don't see the need to invest in it, it's questionable in a way. Make me believe in something that you are actually believing in. By believing, it doesn't have to be it has to be because you are also even learning the ethics of business at the end of the day. You are already learning to deal with losses, because one thing about starting up a business is you have to expect losses as much as you expect profit. Don't expect miracles. Business doesn't have a thing where 20 million. 20 million people say, serious. Behind closed doors, I'm working extra hard for that. So for a business to actually become, it's just the same as an idea. Work for it. Work for it meaning similar thing. most of these angel investors, as we call them in business, when you approach them, the requirements including financial issues. So you have to at least have something that you fall back on, because you're asking someone to put their money into your thing that you're not even sure how it's by the time on nela madikere ke reka borotho be ke duwe ke rola baketa ba ha ke tsana sekolong sa teng bana ba teng they don't eat magunya gotlhelele go gona le certain foods ba di jang hell. At the end of the day, it's a failed business now. Lebaka ile gore ga ke ha khona go tsena mo marketing ka bona gore mme gona ha ke re ke batla magunya borotho bo ke kopa re ke reka borotho ke reka borotho bo le kae bo jwa ke batho ba le kae. So sometimes it means you, or it needs you to start off. It helps you to know exactly what o batla go dira eng. 2, it actually helps you go gola. Ha ke se ke itshimoletse ka madi a ke simola ke ira seng, by the time ke se ke go request madi ke itse madi a ke a batlang ke batla go ra hetele ko kae exactly. When I started off the publishing company, I didn't have big machines to bring down. I was actually just outsourcing. Now in the process of time, I already know what the machines in everything else is there. Authors are there, they are submitting their books and everything. So I can't tell investor the big machines. I'm very specific and maybe ngare ke trade ya go supa gore batho ba ntse ba submit dibuka tsa bone ha ke outsource dibuka ke printa dibuka di le kae. In other words, I can actually make profit. So sometimes you have it's more of calculated risk. You have to know okay, what I'm doing can need me to do 1 2 3 4 and get funds like this, instead of just getting in and say I need 100,000 uborwa go bula a restaurant only to realize gore rent hela ka buyone ya restaurant ke 150k di freeze that thing ke bokana wena madi ana wa estimate ga tsamaisane le the idea, because how is so go lekeletse wena before that. So yeah,
awesome. Happy we sometimes now I feel like it's a matter of belief. Like when you start something and then you believe in that this thing is going to bear fruits and stuff. How you wouldn't mind to take money how invest.
True.
Actually, you're showing the person who is working. Processor about invest on one side. The reason why I can say Majami Jasa can I get my chip and I is because I believe in it. So low on woman assurance are okay. This thing
evidence. Evidence and accountability. I tell people that if it goes beyond even a business setup, it goes into even issues of leadership. To say, I am doing this, I'm asking you to give me this kind of money, I'm asking you to entrust me with your finances for this business ailing Yami, because I have actually seen how things are operating. Here is my evidence. In that way, it's easy for someone to say, okay, Nyame, because most of investors in Africa want to see what udi relay. That's the first. Hello, the moment everyone just starts not talking to you. But if you start saying something familiar, a good family, people start coming up to you. So it's the same thing in business. If you come up knowing exactly what you have been doing and also more experience of what you have been doing, it becomes easy for someone to say, okay, I can actually help you through. Yeah.
Okay, so I need us to talk about Poeticblood Publishers. Can you just give me a briefing about it, like when it started and how is it growing up at you?
Okay, Poeticblood Publishers is a publishing company. We offer publishing services. We do editing, content layout, content design, proofreading, book cover designs, mock-up, advertising, ISBN application, all the processes that are involved in making a manuscript into a sellable book. I registered the company in 2019. And yeah, until now, we have published over 300 books locally and internationally. Renali a broader market, Tata Totahuanetemo, Botswana, Africa. But I have recently been having different clients we have 2 clients from Dubai and 2 from Zim, 1 from Zambia so far. So yeah, last year we won the Mula Ford African Literature Awards under the best publishing house in Africa. especially for the small companies. I think the main issue with having to win that award was I am more into the African writers. I want to see them excelling. So as a company, we make sure that we actually produce award-winning books that can be adopted in different schools, books that can be used to tell African stories and histories. So yeah, I have about 11 employees. Under it, we have graphic design, printing, editing, proofreading. We have social media managers.
Wow. Can you tell me about the origin of the name Poeticblood?
Okay.
I'm so interested in that.
So Poeticblood has always been it's my stage name as a poet. Saliki Simula Galone, when I established myself Tatamo Maketeon as a commissioned or paid poet in 2014. Abiki Simula Kili register as a trade name when I started the publishing company, I wanted something that resonate the kind of person that I am. So I was like, okay, let me just get the name and then continue with it in the Poeticblood Publishers. Because at the end of the day, I am me and I'm also my brand. I tell people that, yes, I know we have to separate the two, yourself and your brand. I always do that. But a lot of ethics that I have as a person are also the same ethics that I actually established this company with. So it's easy for people to associate me with my brand because I represented it everywhere I go. Someone would know, so it becomes more easier for me to be recognized through that.
So okay, can you see that sometimes there is a mistake that entrepreneurs do by separating? Okay, it's okay to separate your personal brand from the company brand. But when they just too much separation, do you think it's a mistake that they commit? Because let's say, for example, when you make your company brand to work with your personal brand, that means you live it, you speak about it more. Whatever that you do personally, it has to do with the company.
Yeah, I think per se, but it's something that we forget. You are what you are. As much as your business, it is what you are. You are the one who started this business. You had a vision. So vision it is also carried by you. You even in you still represent your business because people would say even if I'm just in town and having fun. So at the end of the day, the way I carry myself, it also affects my brand. That is why as a business person, make sure that the kind of things that you do in public, but you have something that is linked to you. It speaks on your behalf as much as you speak on its behalf. So anywhere that I go, when someone come up to me and ask me questions about books, even if Kilemo Pache, I take my time and answer them. Because there's no you are a business, and especially that we are small businesses, you are still trying to bring people into you. No, it's not like that. You, as a business, as a brand, you still have to convince people each and every day to follow you, to do something or come to you for business. So yeah.
You spoke about traveling a lot, Zambia, Namibia. How are you able to get connections in Zambia and those countries in Southern Africa?
Being a poet, being a spoken word poet, opened up a lot of networking market, I would say, for me. Like I am the reason why I have a lot of connections that I'm actually now using in my businesses is because of my poetry. In 2018, I was fortunate enough to be invited for Babisha Inouye Poetry Festival in Uganda. And I found out different poets from different African countries, Nigeria, South Sudan, jalo jalo. So I kept those connections. But one thing, over the years we talk. Yeah, but how can we work together? What can we do together? Jalo jalo. So lahaya no di invitations in wedding city nothing. I've been to South Africa, I've been to Zambia, jalo jalo. It makes sure I build up that connection in thing. At the end of the day, I can still use the same connection more colonia business. So the reason why you can actually get a book, Poeticblood publishers in Zambia or in South Africa or in Lesotho, is because I was able to build that connection. I think one thing that we have to do as entrepreneurs, after taking those pictures, make sure that we are in competition. I tell people that one thing about me is I don't compete, I dominate. I prefer having to have you, even if you are doing the same thing. Let's go customer because we are running the same thing and we're not going to have a bit of an idea of what can be done. Yeah. Yes, a sense of jealousy is there because we are naturals, we are human. Yeah, but channel it into a positive way. We do onna jana se ka re tsala go rekile koloi and bo jala se go ke gore le nna tsala ime go mo gang khothatsa gore re kereke koloi itse re ke nkgothaditse tota e se mo ke tlabe ke simola ke re ka reka go o gate ke o ka thula ka yone wawa. The moment we are o build up mona we seng one and it clouds a lot of things. One thing about being an entrepreneur is keep your mental state in check. So when you are meeting these people, connecting with these different people, yo, I'm taking selfies, can I label Bin Laden and what guys, business. No. Go there knowing what I'm gonna get a card ibile kibuele no send a message ask you put man. So that's how I built my connection internationally.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. The guy learned one thing with a friend. He's doing a podcast. He has a podcast. We do like almost the same thing. You know, one thing that I admire about him is that he never saw me. He started first the podcast, but he never saw me as a competitor. When the way I advice, he always give me advice about this is what you can do. I give us okay. If maybe I want to capture the sound in a better way, he tells me. And we spoke about your collaboration. Instead of us, let us form, collaborations, joint ventures and stuff like that, so that we can be able to pay.
Yeah, imagine one of the good days, go youth. Yeah. Rent a very big building. Like a photography studio, podcast, graphics, the entire thing. When someone comes in, it's like line the atlo publish a book. Everything that she needs, from the advertising of her book, having to discuss her book, the live reviews, and all those other things, Dirua in the same building. The only way we can do that is when we collaborate. Because one thing that I've learned having to do with different things every day is the fact that and at that point the line thing when I'm tired. But if I'm having someone who can actually help me with that, or someone who owns the same thing as me, and I can just say, we will be having a very beautiful country, having to help each other. Because it was deep down so our best because we know these are the best. It's the thing. Yeah, limited standard. Imagine how meet the standard. Can also to the first time I can't work with you because you don't meet my standards. So yeah. So collaboration helps us grow, and it also helps us even financially. Or we tell materially. when on le ID.
ID,
Na ke na le ID ke blank. Mara ha re kopana, we run this thing. Ra gola khantela no gona motlhofo gore yo mongwe a reketsa ga go a nne ha le mongwe a reketsa ga go a nna ha. That's how our parents did their thing bogologolo. Ne ro mongwe na le masimo, yo mongwe sena masimo me a khona go lema. E batla mo go batla go lema motshimi yo botlheo. Ha thowe sena go nna ntsi wa rekisa. Hela jalo khante le khona gore a mo segele tshimunyano yana a mo neela a mo rekisa because o ne le madinyana go ka khona go reka hafunyana ya tshimo. At the end of the day bana ba family ya motho le bana ba family ya motho botle gona le simo se se jiwang go go bona. So can we go back to the old ways, look into how our parents were making it, how to survive, and then bring it in how we do it, ready baakanye there and there, but still get the concept of working together. Mabogodingo
bo mona bo batha where we exchange service. That is very powerful.
It works.
Powerful indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to know what do you think we can do as Botswana to level up? Okay, I understand the point of collaboration, but so they came here and then they were like, okay, we just do it, but the business sound like I want to do website, how do you think we can stay on top of our game as entrepreneurs in Botswana?
I think that question is very difficult. A lot of us have different opinions on how to level up in what way. But now I think the simplest thing, maybe as a small business owner, what I'm saying is actually something that I'll say I'm self-reflecting. I'm talking about myself. I'll say the thing that we need to do let's inquire what is really needed. Nako tse dingwe tla be ke nela ko lapeng ke bona mo Facebook go website ya tura be ke hella gone ha ke botse le gore kante motho ena bua ka go tura ora for other things, but I can actually find someone who itseng gore go iragalang rana le payment plan ka nna ntse ke moduela ka ke moduelang ka teng ha le gore gona di services tsa di batlana ke di offer ka di monela in exchange of ena ntirela jalo. So nako tse dingwe the best we can do ke gore tsana mo bathong ask both. I think the main problem is we want to assume to people that we know everything. Business even customers when they come to you, they give you suggestions. Those so be open to learning. That's the only way we are able to keep going up and up. Because business every day you have to be doing something new to maintain it and move forward with it. Also, be in line with the seasons. How can I like more like who's gonna come and nako plate that way just 70 one? Roll 500 Haba motsa gona hale ke boela la peng ke sna la ile go ja ke saja ke sna lone madi a khomi. Mara ha ntse now if you go up with the seasons, you are able to know okay hana nka twista yana tsama le di trend a gona mogote yana o tsore nyago ka simola go rekisa a senyana. Gompieno na how many people are actually having in their businesses mo di offices tsa bona. Most of them have bana metsi nitse ba nwa nga bollo ba ngwa bana di fridge. Go around tse o tla ka metsi a isitse ba re ke rekisa metsi. It works.
Beautiful. So, I'd like you to give what word can you give to aspiring authors and entrepreneurs?
All right. I think the first thing or the best thing that I can say is there is no one who is gonna come and ask you to start because they don't know the vision that you carry or the dream that you have. The only person who knows when to start is you. And please, as much as udumela gore you want to just relax with la simola next year, opportunities also they die down. People always say no, they're gonna be new opportunities. By the time you realize technology would have taken over for everything, and I don't know generation. So the best time to start is now. So because you can't be perfect in a business, you can't be perfect as an author. Your first book might fail, but the second one will be successful. Your first business house similar might fail, but 3 months later you'll be able to make it through. But also when you actually be able to start and you are in it, trust the process. So if you're an author, you wanna become an author, write. There's no how you can be an author if you don't write. Please write. At the same time, read, research, align yourself with whatever that is happening in your environment. You want to be an entrepreneur and you don't know where to start. Look within you. What exactly were you? What kind of an answer were you want? Like, what kind of an answer did you want to give? If you already have your answer to that, start. The best thing you can do is to start. Go meet other people, collaborate, learn from something. The other mistake that we do is retire influences. And we have to follow certain people who do certain things, and then we forget to follow people who do things that we are actually interested in. R&B ke batlang go gone ke re motho a kwasa kwasa ke a go tlhola ke kgala R&B motsegarot ke eng ke sa retse se ke itseng gore it can actually benefit me at the end of the day. So let's follow people ba neng gore re tsore their influence on us will bear fruit. Let's not just follow because people are following. Kante lo roga batho ko Facebook nka o bitse o rogana hela o rogana hela motho e leng gore nka bo bua le ena go thusa wena ha mo follow go tlelele. So that's the other thing that I think as business people we also have to think about. The kind of people that we follow, people that we look up to, should be the kind of people who have a very good positive influence on us, because our minds actually feed on a lot of junk. At the end of the day, you were looking at someone tops. You are not follow moto down there. Ha dira sengwe bilo nna Christ ra kwa tlhola o kgona. O kala toro ya gago ka toro ya motho eleng gore ene ka meruri ha isa ka kenyetse go go godimo go tlhelele. So that's my advice.
Those are powerful words indeed. So if someone wants your books, someone wants to book you as a poet, and how can they contact you?
Okay, they can search Poeticblood Publishers on Facebook. If you want to publish your book or print anything like that. If you want to buy books, search Mind and Soul Bookstores. It's also on Facebook. And then for me, you can just search Lame Pusetso on Facebook, or you can call +267 7696 9956. So this number actually operates for all the businesses. When how let's for which part, and then they direct you to the correct line. So +267 7696 9956. It's for Poeticblood Publishers, Mind and Soul. For me, you just call and tell them exactly, and then they direct you to the right line. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, and I enjoy the juice and the competition.
So we have come to the end of our podcast, guys. Please make sure to subscribe, and please make sure to follow our social media platforms. I'm Raymond Mapena. Make sure to go on Facebook, follow the page, follow Ring Maps on YouTube, and also Poeticblood Publishers on Facebook and other platforms. Thank you so much.